good morning, Yankees universe. Welcome back to another episode of the Yankees Morning Brew on this Thursday, January 18th. Like always, I'm your guy Hector, joined by my co-host, my compañero this morning. I got my guy TC Stills. TC, how you feeling, big fella?
Hey, feeling good as always, man. You know, just another day and Yankee universe, and just see what's going on here. You know, it's a slow time right before spring training, and let's evaluate this team. Let's see what's going on here.
It is definitely a slow time before we get to spring training. It is January 18th. You guys know Yankees pitchers and catchers report February 14th. So we're literally less than 30 days away from pitchers and catchers reporting to spring training. And we got a good episode today. I got my guy in the chat, Mr. Peter Seminetti, who will be joining us from NYY Underground. Everybody in the chat, good morning. All of you Yankee fans, wake up and get your bloody coffee. Before we bring up our guest, Mr. Pete Seminetti, I just want to let everybody know we are sitting at 2,884 subscribers, 16 away from 29, 116 away from 3,000. If you're watching this for the first time, hit that subby, hit that likey. If not, Michael Caputo will show up at your house and will cry and scream about the New York Yankees. Just want to let everybody know when it comes to program updates, next week, Thursday, on this time slot, we will have our friend Keith McPherson from WFAN will be joining us in on the conversation, and as well, our friend Mr. Frank Luna will be coming back for another giveaway. So, guys, make sure you mark your calendars. Next week, Thursday, the rubber ducky races will begin, and our friend Keith McPherson will be here to join in on the festivities. But without further ado, I got to bring up my guy, my brother from another mother in the Yankee universe, my guy, Mr. Pete Seminetti. Pete, good morning. How are you feeling, handsome?
How you doing? Good morning. Good morning. And you know what, Hector, I love when you say, I hope you got your cup of coffee, because you know I have my cup of coffee in the big time.
Oh, yeah, I know that. I got to ask you, though, real question.
Cheers.
Do you use the little Keurigs, right? Do you use the Keurigs, or are you
No, I got to miss the coffee. I got to miss the
coffee.
I got to miss the coffee, and he works well. You know, the Mr. Coffee is a bit underrated nowadays. Everybody goes to the K-Cups. I'm a fan of Mr. Coffee.
Yeah, definitely. And Pete, you know, the last time we've talked and stuff like that, first and foremost, Happy New Year, right? On the stream with you for 2024. God bless. Hope all is well. But we haven't had a conversation about Marcus Stroman on stream. I know you've talked about it with your community and our group chats that we have on Twitter with the entire NYYU team. We've talked about it. Everybody has given their thoughts on it. But I want to ask you, let the folks know over here at Yankees Morning Brew, what's your thoughts when it comes to Marcus Stroman? All the BS put to the side because we're just trying to win a championship. How do you feel about our guy Stroro?
Yeah, man, it's kind of funny, right? Because nobody was expecting Marcus Stroman as a target. You know, nobody's sitting back in the offseason go, yeah, come on, Stroh's a free agent. It's time to go. That's the number one target. Nobody did that. Hell, not even the Yankees did that, to be honest. And, you know, after it happens and Stroman's in, you're like, ah, man, all right, but they got to do something else, right?
Yeah.
Kind of waiting for it. But then, you know, you heard the offer and what the deal was, and it's 18 million. You're like, ah, man, I was expecting 24 million a year. He turned down 21. He leaves. Then you find out even more, and you find out that the Yankees didn't show interest. He requested a meeting face-to-face with Brian Cashman. Cashman grants it. Right after that, he's a member of the Yankees. He basically goes there, and we could put two and two together here. He goes, hey, I'll take less money to play for you guys. You know, apparently there was offers from the Giants, from the Angels for much more money and more guarantee on years. But Stroman said, look, man, I want to return home. And look, you got to give him credit for this. The guy has a set of balls on him. Got a set of balls on him. I mean, there's a lot of stuff said that Yankee fan, he got half the community blocked. We know that already. Half the Yankee community's been blocked by him. There's been a lot of words back and forth and attacking the community. He even, you know, agreed with Manoah when Manoah was like Cole's the most overrated pitcher or whatever. He's the biggest cheater in the game. He agreed with it. He put it out there so everybody could see it. So he said also too that nobody lasts in the postseason. And look, now you get your turn. So I tip my cap to him from simply saying, "Hey, I'm gonna go into the Lions then, and I'm gonna see what happens." Because let's remember here, if he struggles, there's a lot of receipts out there ready.
Oh yeah,
like come on, bro, it ain't gonna be cute for him. So hopefully Stroman is healthy. Because when he's been healthy, he's been very serviceable to the point you could almost say underrated. You could almost say underrated. So the way the Yankees got that deal done and the amount of money it cost and that they put in it, he is an upgrade to their rotation. Is it a sexy name? No, but he is indeed an upgrade.
Yeah, and that's what it is, right? When you look at Marcus Stroman and take his personality and put that to the side. When you look at his stats, just as a pitcher, just as a baseball player, like you said, he is definitely an upgrade in that starting rotation, right? When you look at him and compare him to Domingo Germán, he is definitely an upgrade over Domingo Germán in the style of pitching. Domingo Germán, strikeout, fly ball. When you look at Marcus Stroman, more of a ground ball pitcher in Yankee Stadium. And I know a lot of people are making a big thing about his numbers at Yankee Stadium. The thing that will help him is that he's not going to be pitching against the Yankees in Yankee Stadium, right? He's going to be pitching for the Yankees. So it may be a little bit to benefit him that he doesn't have to go through a lineup that has Juan Soto and Aaron Judge in the middle of it. But TC, I'm going to just throw it over to you because we haven't talked as well. Just give us your real quick take about Marcus Stroman, and then we jump into the first conversation. Go ahead, TC.
Yeah, I think like everyone else, I was a little shocked too. I wasn't expecting that, and you know, as I started, you know, looking through the stats and hearing a lot of talk, I think I'm okay with Marcus Stroman as a number 3 starter. I mean, he's an upgrade of Frankie Montas, Domingo Germán, even Severino. I mean, Severino was terrible last year. He's an upgrade over there. So he's a bulldog. He's going to take the ball, you know, the ball every 5th day. A lot of ground balls. I think he has a lot to prove, and he has a big stage to do it. And he's going to put a lot of, you know, critics. He's going to silence a lot of them. I just hope he's got incentives. There's incentives for a 3rd season. So I'm looking forward to it. I think he is an upgrade, and I honestly thought this wasn't going to be it, but now I'm starting to think that they're probably going to settle for just Stroman and maybe a bullpen piece here and there, but I'm okay with it, and I'm looking forward to see what he can do.
When you look at the incentives real quick, right, and it's my last topic, last thing for Marcus Stroman. When you look at the incentives, it benefits the Yankees because in that 3rd season, right, it's 140 innings, 18 million, right? He turned down 21 million. So if he has a good next 2 years, solid 2 years with the Yankees, that 3rd option, he may decline it so he could go back into free agency and get a bigger contract right before he's going to be 35. So that probably is last time he'll be able to get a big time contract like that. So it benefits the Yankees either way, whether he pitches 140 innings and opt out, or if he doesn't pitch 140 innings, the Yankees don't have to worry about that last year on that contract because he would just be able to walk away because he didn't meet up to the standards. But I want to go over to FanGraphs. Shout out to FanGraphs. They do real good projections. I did the starting rotation and bullpen on this past Tuesday's episode. If you guys missed it, make sure you guys go tune it in. But we're going to go through the Yankees lineup. We're going to talk about the projections for FanGraphs. This is not like a regular lineup. How's it going to be 1 through 9? These are just all the position players and all the hitters. Let me just, wait, what is going on? There it is. Oh, technical difficulties. Okay, so when it comes to Juan Soto, right? FanGraphs has Juan Soto when it comes to 679 plate appearances, a 284 batting average, 425 on base percentage, and a 558 slugging. When you look at his home runs, FanGraphs project Juan Soto to have another career high with 39 home runs on the season. When you look at these numbers, to me, especially when you look at the WAR, 6.8 WAR, Juan Soto, he's on a contract year, so he should be able to have a phenomenal year, especially in Yankee Stadium. But a 284 batting average, 38 to 39 home runs, I'll sign up, and I think any Yankee fan would sign up if this is what they figured Juan Soto's season is going to be. I'll throw it over to you, P. What's your thoughts on these projections from FanGraphs?
Yeah, man, I'll be honest, it's the first time I'm seeing it, but man, oh man, if Soto has, I mean, look, Over 400, yeah, but wow. I mean, you look at the on base percentages of the team and what they have right there. You got Soto 425, Judge 386, Glaber 342. There's a lot of 330s and up in there. The Yankees had one of the worst teams in baseball when it came to on base percentage. That's why it's comical, because when a lot of people were saying at the time when they were looking to trade for Soto, I just wait the year. And I'm sitting there going, but there's one guy, because most teams you can't just add one guy and it fixes a lot of what you have wrong. Soto was that one guy that would fix the on-base percentage problem. And look at what he does there. Let me see it. Alex Verdugo, 327. That is a major upgrade in on-base percentage. Batting average, you look at that up and down. Those are major upgrades. The expectation and by what we're seeing here, I think this is all, the majority of this is good news for Yankee fans. You look at even Stanton there. Stanton hits 231. I think everybody's going to be jumping up and down for joy.
I mean, and they had him at 36 home runs as well.
That would be phenomenal.
And they put a big asterisk if he is healthy, right? That was the key thing, and that was a key thing on the bottom of it, if he is healthy.
That makes a lot of sense. But even Trent Grisham hits 222 this season. That's a major improvement for even Trent Grisham alone. So they seem like they're in favor of the Yankees offense having a pretty solid bounce back. And let me look at DJ LeMahieu here too.
Go ahead.
For some people out there that see DJ LeMahieu and go, you know what? He's not what he used to be and this and that. Fair game. But if DJ LeMahieu has an on-base percentage of 341, he's making his money. He's earning his money. If he can hit a little above the 260 mark, have an on-base percentage of over 340, can't be upset.
You definitely can. And when you look at the other numbers, right? Aaron Judge, they project Aaron Judge 46 to 48 home runs, right? And I understand the frustrations from some Yankee fans. Pete, we've been on an emotional roller coaster with this whole Yamamoto thing, missing out on Yamamoto. I understand the frustration on some Yankee fans. But when you look at the potential that this lineup has, when you look at our starting rotation as of right now, the bullpen, not as much, but when you look at the starting rotation and our lineup, there's no way any Yankee fan out there can say that this team going into 2024 is worse than the 2023 New York Yankees, right? The Yankees finished 82 and 80, right? Just having Aaron Judge healthy for 162 games, that right there alone should give us at least 10 extra wins to get it on the wild card, right? By adding Juan Soto on top of a healthy Aaron Judge, on top of a healthy Anthony Rizzo, you cannot tell me that doesn't ink us at least 10 to 15 extra wins when it comes to the standing. What's your thoughts, Pete? And let's throw it over to TC.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, another thing too that people tend to forget about Juan Soto is, knock on wood, the guy's been an iron horse. I mean, he's been out there. Soto has been out there. And you got to remember the upgrades also, man. Left field last year was who? IKF, Bowers, McKinney, Alex Verdugo. No matter how Yankee fans feel about him, which I'll be honest, I still have weird. It's just odd why he has such a bad rap with the Yankees. There was one incident. But even after that, he was like, I get why the fans did that. And, you know, why there was whatever, the ball thrown, all that nonsense. It's a rivalry. But Alex Verdugo is a major upgrade. I mean, he's a big upgrade compared to what was out there. So when you look at the team last year and this year, you do have expectations that the offense is probably going to win them some games this year.
No, yeah, definitely. TC, what's your thoughts about these projections, and what's your thoughts about the statement that I made when it comes to the team in the postseason?
Well, just looking at this list, I mean, I'm jumping for joy not seeing Aaron Hicks or Josh Donaldson's name on there. I mean, that's a huge upgrade right there. So you know, Pete nailed it. You know, Alex Verdugo's under the radar signing. I mean, that guy's gonna lengthen the lineup, and that's a big thing. I mean, adding Juan Soto and Verdugo, these guys are gonna grind out at bats, and that was the problem last year. They just swung at everything, and you know, they didn't lengthen the pitcher had an easy route through the lineup. I mean, they didn't have any problems. Soto getting through Soto, Judge, LeMahieu, Stanton. I mean, that's going to be a tough act for a pitcher to get through, and that's going to just help the bottom of the lineup. I mean, these pitchers are going to go 4 or 5 innings, they'll be done. We're in their bullpen right away. So Predictions, I tend not to really put a lot of weight into a lot of these things. I mean, a lot of the numbers are look good. Juan Soto high on base, Aaron Judge. What shocks me is Jose Trevino. I mean, they got Jose Trevino way up there as a 340 or a 283 on base. I mean, I don't know about that. Better than but having Stanton bat 231, you sign me up. I mean, he
Yeah.
what starting lineup? He's the lowest average. I mean, I'll take that every day. So the lineup's going to be a lot better. The pitching's going to be okay. Again, everything depends on the health of this team. So
yeah.
We'll see. We'll see how it
No,
goes.
yeah, definitely. And I think when you look at this list, right? Because one of the first names that I wanted to look at this list, it wasn't Aaron Judge, it wasn't Juan Soto, it was Anthony Volpe to see what his projections were going to look like. And according to FanGraphs, this is what FanGraphs have. And again, these are all projections. Take it with a grain of salt. Pete doesn't have a crystal ball. He ain't looking into the future. I ain't looking into the future. But when you look at their projections from FanGraphs, Anthony Volpe, 228 batting average, a 307 on base percentage, a 409 slugging. They still have him finishing with 22 home runs, 25 stolen bases on this upcoming season. I would like to see Anthony Volpe's batting average live in the range of 240 to 260. The 228 is better than what it was this past season, but I would like Anthony Volpe in his second year to live in that range between 240 and 260. Anything else besides that, if it's over it, I'll take it, but that's the range that I want him to live in. Pete, what's your thoughts real quick when it comes to Volpe?
Yeah, and that WAR right there would be a bit concerning for a guy like Volpe, considering he's a Gold Glover now. So at the end of the day, you got that great range and all that stuff. You would expect that. The WAR last year was 3.3, and again, this is projections. They're not guaranteeing this is what the end result's going to be. We all understand that. But, I feel like for Yankee fans, this is a big year for Anthony Volpe. Anthony Volpe, heck, we talked about this a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Anthony Volpe can't be a guy that hits under, 209 again, 210, 215. There's going to start being legitimate questions about, was this the right move? Is this the guy? Is this the future shortstop for years to come? And yes, Volpe's young. I understand that. But there's a lot of change he has to make. And hopefully he has done that. I'm not saying you got to redo your entire swing, but bare minimum, that 2-strike approach needs to change. It has to. The strikeout numbers have to go down, and that on-base percentage must go up. It has to go up. A 283 on-base percentage for a guy with very good speed, high baseball IQ, you got to get that well above 3, and he could be very impactful for the team.
Yeah, and that's like the only bright spot when you look at these projections is that his on-base percentage is over 3, but it's barely over 3. It's at 307, right? Yeah. To your point, Pete, he has to start going opposite field. He has to switch up his 2-strike approach. He has to cut down on the strikeouts. Again, like I said, I can live with Volpe 240, 260 batting average in the second year. Hopefully he keeps on improving as his career goes on. But I would sacrifice 5 home runs if you could tell me it guarantees him hitting 260. Sacrifice the 5 home runs. You don't have to go out there and be a slugger. Pete, what's your thoughts on that real quick before we throw it
right there with you, man? He had 21, man. And he hit me 15 homers a season, and that average bumps up 20, 25 points. I'm excited. I mean, that's the whole thing is that, but Dane brought up a good point when he talked about it. He goes, yeah, but the thing about it is that people are forgetting that's what made him a top prospect. That swing change, that launch angle, that's what made him a top prospect. Because before that, he was looked at as good, but never a top prospect in Major League Baseball. And he changed that approach. He got the launch angle. He showed for a smaller guy can hit the ball out. And everybody started looking around and go, this kid has everything. And he launched himself all the way up and built it. But at this level, a lot of things change really quick. And can he make the adjustments?
Yeah, no, definitely. TC, what's your thoughts before we let Pete go? Because I know we had Pete just for a limited time this morning. What's your thoughts real quick, TC, when it comes to Volpe?
Yeah, Volpe, I need his average up. He needs to make more contact. I need him on base. He's got to use his speed, and he didn't get to use that last year. I mean, at first he started off hot and then just cooled off. I don't know, what do you have? 20 stolen bases? I mean, he had that like before the half of the season.
It seemed like it. It seemed like it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, This year, I think a lot of pressure will be off of him. If Boone would just keep him in the bottom of the lineup, 8th, 9th, wherever, stop moving him around, stop adjusting his stance, stop tweaking everything. Just leave the kid alone. The home runs will come. Just use the opposite field, and anywhere between 260, 270. I need, and then I need a high on base percentage. Other than that, keep his glove is fine. I mean, I don't consider him a Gold Glove shortstop, but as long as he does what he did last year, I mean, he's fine. I'm okay with it because honestly, we've improved the lineup, and there's not all this pressure on him this year, so
yeah,
it's gonna help him out.
Yeah, and I think the one thing Anthony Volpe doesn't have to worry about is the revolving lineup, right? The musical chairs when it comes to the lineup, not knowing where you're going to bat at in the lineup as the week goes by. But Pete, I know you said you had a limited time.
I could go till 11:30.
All right, cool. Copy.
Yeah,
Even better.
Guys, yeah.
Even better. So when we're looking at this list, right, another two names that I wanted to touch on was both Jason Dominguez and Austin Wells. FanGraphs, they have Austin Wells with his projections hitting 16 home runs. If we could get 16 home runs out of Austin Wells with only 321 plate appearances, I'll take that every single day. And again, like I said, these are only projections. They don't have a crystal ball. I guarantee you they didn't project Ian Hamilton to have the season he had last year, right? So these are just projections. They just go off of the numbers. But Austin Wells, if we could get 15, 16 home runs out of Austin Wells with only 321 plate appearances, sign me up, especially in his full rookie season. 232 batting average, a 306 on base percentage, but a 411 slugging. I don't know how 15, 16 home runs equals 411 slugging. I'm confused. I'm just confused when it comes to that. But Pete, I want to throw it over to you. What's your thoughts when it comes to Wells? And then you could afterwards answer when it comes to Jason Dominguez and his projections.
Yeah, man. I'm a big fan of Austin Wells, man. I think Austin Wells is going to have a very, very strong year for the Yankees this year. I think a lot of people are kind of looking past him a little bit, but Austin Wells, the lefty batter, he reminds me a lot of Nick Johnson when Nick Johnson was in his prime and healthy with the Yankees. A guy that could drive the ball all over the field. He could pop some out to right. I think he got better power than Nick Johnson, but here's a guy I think that you look up and go, man, he has a lot of doubles, doesn't he? I think he's that type of player. And some of those projections, I'll be honest, that batting average, I don't know. I think Austin Wells gets used to this league. I mean, you may see Jose Trevino kind of catching one guy. And Austin Wells kind of taking the bulk of that pretty quick. He's that type of player. And no disrespect to Jose Trevino. I love him. But let's be honest. Trevino's a backup. Trevino, came here. You could see he kind of wore down pretty quickly. That's been his position. That's kind of been his thing. But he's also a leader in that clubhouse, according to everybody that you talk to. When it comes to Dominguez, it's really just going to come down to, out of everybody on this list, that's the projection I pay less attention to be honest, because what is he going to play? Is he going to be back in June? Let's say, God forbid, Stanton goes on his regular IL thing in, early June, late May. Do they say, hey, look, he could hit? DH, bring him up now and let him DH, and we'll keep doing his throwing program up here to get him back into the outfield. But you got to remember, he's a young kid too. He's going to recover quicker. He's going to recover quicker from this. It's all about health for him, and Dominguez is on that field. That's obviously what we all want to see, but I don't know if he gets what are they saying? 119 plate appearances.
Yeah, 119.
We'll see. I mean, I think it just happened. It's a matter of when is he up with the Yankees? That's all it comes down to.
I want to ask you, and that's a good question. When is he up? If you had to guess, if you was in Vegas putting a bet down, right? Yeah. Would you bet under 100 at bats or over 100 at bats when it comes to Jason Dominguez?
I'm gonna bet over.
Same. I'm right there with you
because he's going to be swinging in April. I mean, he's going to be taking full hacks and everything in April. So it's not like
he's ahead of schedule. I think
he's ahead of schedule. There's no question he's ahead of schedule. Yeah. And look, we've seen, Bryce Harper, much older, come back and go, well, at least I could just hit. I could swing and all that, and then I could still work on a throwing program. They did the right thing. They said, hey, go to first base. When it comes to Dominguez, what is the arm strength going to be, and how quick does that come back? But when it comes to the offensive side of things, we even heard Aaron Boone say, you know, based on his projection of it, he should be basically an everyday guy come spring training. That we should see him as a regular player come spring. Obviously, he's not making the team out of spring training, but you know, he's going to get his time in AAA, and it would not shock me that Dominguez is back before the All-Star break.
Yeah, and you know, like TC brought up earlier, Ray, and like you brought up as well, he is well ahead of schedule when it comes to Jason Dominguez. There's pictures of him already at the Yankees complex working out, and he doesn't have any protective sleeve on his arm or anything like that. So it looks like he is ready to go. But like you said, it's going to be important to Jason Dominguez to get off to a great spring training. He hit over 400 last year. If Jason Dominguez hits over 400 again this spring training, if you gave Anthony Volpe the job and let Anthony Volpe break the season with the team, break spring training with the team because he hit over 300, if Jason Dominguez hits over 400, how can you tell him that he has to go back to AAA?
Yeah, it's tough. And I'll just say something else too when it comes to that statement you made on Volpe. It's time for the Yankees to start doing that more. Volpe, I always joke around. He's the golden child, right? He's the one that they selected and said, hey, you're playing every day. Don't worry about it. Forget anything else. They even went to the point of being like, hey, man, you could hit. He had a professional 190 batting average. It's professional, guys. Don't worry about it. He could do that at the major league level, and it's fine. Peraza did that. They'd kick him for a field goal. They'd be like, all right, see you later. You're out. But they got to do that more with their younger players and start believing in them. And look, I am going to tip the cap to the Yankees because they've gotten a bad rap for years and years and years of not developing players. You know, there was something that came out, I think over the last 10 years, they're like number 3 for draft picks being at the major league level. So they're starting to get those guys there. Yeah, it could be with other clubs. But the New York Yankees have developed a system. They got the top 6 players on the top 100 list, Baseball America, that these guys need to not be rushed, but they need to be challenged.
Yeah.
And if that challenge is the major league level, then hey, so be it. Give them that opportunity.
We brought it up last week, Thursday, right? TC, in our conversation, the Yankees were voted by other baseball executives as being the number 1 team to use the international free agent market, and also being voted on by other executives of having a top 10 minor league system, right? So yeah, from 2010 up until 2020, the New York Yankees, when it comes to players that they have drafted, they've been last in Major League Baseball when it comes to WAR. But like Pete just brought up, since 2020 and to now, players that the New York Yankees have drafted, they are in the top 15 when it comes to WAR. So they have gotten a lot better. So you got to tip your cap and give some respect to player development and to the front office, right? When you look at the last group of prospects that we had, the Clint Frazier's, the Andujar, Luis Severino, that last group of prospects that Aaron Judge came up with, not even Aaron Judge was ranked as high as some of these guys when it comes to top 100 prospects. Jason Dominguez is ranked as the number 16 prospect in all of Major League Baseball. We'll get into that later on. But none of those Yankees before were ever ranked this high. Yes, they didn't pan out. They didn't make it to the major leagues, but we have to have more faith that this group of kids, at least half of them will crack the big league roster, and at least some of them would be as impactful as Aaron Judge. Might not be the superstar Aaron Judge, but be as impactful. What's your thoughts on that, Pete? And I'll throw it over to TC.
Yeah, man, no doubt about it. They've definitely made improvement. And the one thing I know, as you know, we've all watched the Yankees now for years. We've seen a lot of these guys come up, the Eric Duncans, the Jesus Monteros that haven't panned out to the way that we would have wanted. But I'll be honest with you when I say this. I only speak the truth about the Yankees. There's no bias when it comes to just telling the truth about them. They really do have a different system nowadays. They truly do. They got guys that other teams actually do want. When you hear the Yankees going, look, man, we're not giving up Spencer Jones. When you see the information about Spencer Jones, do people understand that Spencer Jones is 6'7" or so, right? He's 6'7", around Aaron Judge's height, but the kid is as fast as Corbin Carroll. Think about this for a second. This is a rare athlete. And yes, I'm on the train of, hey, look, if somebody big's available, everybody's available because prospects are suspects until they're here. Chase Hampton's a guy that people go, this guy's a dog like Roger Clemens on the mound. Not comparing him to the level of talent, but he's a dog on the mound and he wants to be good. And the majority of people sit there and go, The kid's an elite pitching prospect. And it's very, very different than even got like Phil Hughes and those guys back in the day. These guys got better overall stuff than any of those guys. So the Yankee system's in a very, very good place right now. And it's underrated. It's severely underrated. And I think this year you're going to see a lot of those names that we've talked about and some that you're not even familiar with come up and do a lot of good for this team.
Yeah, and there's been so much hype around a lot of the Yankees prospects that some of the guys, they're sleeper picks and they fall under the radar, right? With all the hype that comes around Austin Wells, Ben Rice came out of nowhere. Oh, yeah. No Yankee fan was even on the radar of Ben Rice. Same thing for George Lombard Jr., right? With all the hype around Anthony Volpe and Roderick Arias, George Lombard Jr. crept under the radar and nobody was looking at George Lombard Jr.
6'4" already. 6 foot. He had a growth spurt. No joke. I'm not joking. Like he got like 3 inches taller out of nowhere.
He was like 6 feet when they drafted him out of high school or something like that.
6'4". Okay. There's already comparisons that this is a Manny Machado. He's going to be at third base for years to come. He's the son of a major league coach. He has a lot of that. Roderick Arias really quick. His ceiling is projected higher than Jason Dominguez is. Switch hitter, just like Dominguez. But and here's another thing to pay attention to. Yankees have so many strong infield prospects coming up that Anthony Volpe better have a good year because they'll be knocking on that door quick. And the Yankees going to have to dip their hat and go, we were wrong about that one. If that's the case, hopefully it's a harder decision to make of what you got to do. But another name to pay attention to this year, pay attention to Jared Serna. Jared Serna this kid has been excellent in the outfield, excellent in the infield, 5'7" Altuve-like, but has developed very good power, great speed, very good defense. That is a legit prospect that can make a big difference really quickly. He could make some people possibly forget about Gleyber Torres leaving.
Yeah, and we stole him out of the Braves system, right? If I'm not mistaken, we got him from the Atlanta Braves for pennies on the dollar, right? So the front office is able to, if they have to trade to get some prospects or have to trade to get some depth pieces, they're able to find some diamonds in the rough. You bring up Spencer Jones, and once the Yamamoto thing fell through, I got on my emotional roller coaster and said, call up whoever, give him Spencer Jones, give him Ben Rice. We need that extra pitching. But then as the days went on, we had to take that step back and realize, no, Spencer Jones is a elite talent. My guy Rich Rivera, he Empire State of Baseball, he covers the Somerset Patriot, right? He says that man Spencer Jones is going to be special. Pete, I want to respect your time. Again, it's 11:33. I know you have later on, you're going to be covering the Marcus Stroman announcement, press conference, Zoom conference, however it's going to be. Let the folks know in the chat what time that's going to be. And again, brother, thank you for taking time this morning.
Thanks, Pete.
Of course. And I'll just throw this last part in there real quick about Spencer Jones. Thank God I'm not the Yankee GM, because the minute they landed Stroman, I'm on my high horse going, we got to get somebody else. I would have called up Chicago and said, look, whoever you guys want, get the deal done. Fans would have hated me. It is what it is, but that's the type of GM I would be. So a little Dave Dombrowski, right? A little Dave Dombrowski.
A little David B. You feel me? David B.
Dave, okay? But I'll be live today, probably about 2:45. We're going to go all the way through Stroman's presser, and I believe Brian Cashman is going right after him also. So we're going to cover all those for you guys. We'll be live the entire time. And then Monday the 22nd, we're going to do an 8-hour stream. So that's coming up Monday the 22nd. I'm going to have the majority of the team on that. But yeah, man, it's going to be fun. And of course, man, this is like a second home for me to come on. So I love being with you guys. And if everybody has not, smacky that likey and hitty that subby, okay?
That's a big facts. Pete, my brother, thank you so much again. And again, send out the back signal. Let me know whenever you need me. For that Monday with the team, I'm going to be free that Monday. So you just let me know what time you want me to pop on whenever nobody's there. But Pete, my brother, appreciate you. 2024 is going to be a movie. And guys, just be ready. Be on the lookout, because we are going to turn spring training into the New York Yankees frat party. I'm going to be out there. The NYYU family will be out there. We will be taking control and taking over of Tampa and the great St. Pete area. Someone may get arrested. I can't promise that. But Pete, my bro, I'll let you, my guy.
Love you guys. Thank you so much, TC. Always good to be on with you too, brother. Appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you.
Later, Pete. Later, Pete. TC, I'll throw it back to you so you could give us your thoughts on Jason Dominguez. But before we do that, let's do a little bit of the roll call. We got Rah in the building. My guy Richie Rivera from Empire State of Baseball is in the building. How you guys doing? Salute, salute, salute. Damian Serrano is in the building. The only troll we acknowledge in the Yankee universe is my guy Li Yankee King. Li, how you doing? Big time Jerry, how you doing? Stephen B, how you doing? My guy NFE is in the building. Salute, salute, salute. 3 capital S's. If you guys can, smack that like button. We got over 90 people in the building. I think we're sitting at 40 likes. Let me just refresh and double take. We're sitting at 50 likes. Let's get the stream up to 100 likes. And we are at 2,887 subscribers. 13 subscribers away from 2,900. If you guys can help us out, help out the boys, get to 29. Double A with the 199 super chat. Soto in the middle of the lineup. Damn, it sounds good. Double A, we are right there with you. My guy Spinning Mantis just said, just removing Donaldson improves the team. Absolutely. Empire State of Baseball said, I need that June 13th through July 5th Anthony Volpe back in the lineup. 354 batting average, 417 on base percentage, 1017 OPS. We definitely need that. Rich Rivera. Folks in the chat, let us know how you feeling, how you doing on this Monday. Pete said, I forgot to mention, happy birthday to our brother, Mr. Ra Thompson. Absolutely, Pete. I had messaged Ra earlier. I was waiting to see him in the chat before I said anything, but happy birthday to our guy, Mr. Ra Thompson. Happy birthday, always out there looking fresh, always out there taking over. Shout out to my guy, Ra. But yeah, I'll throw it back over to you, TC. When it comes to Jason Dominguez, what's your thoughts? What's your expectations before we switch it up to the depth chart? Go ahead, bro.
Just real quick, I forgot to mention, if you didn't see this guy right here, Hector, on Dexter Henry Rundown, SNY, go check it out. This guy right here, GQ Hector.
Stop it.
What an excellent, excellent interview. I keep telling this guy every day, you're gonna be someone, man. You're gonna be in. He says he's so nervous. No nervousness. This guy was excellent, polished, smooth, silk GQ guy right here.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you.
If you haven't seen it, we'll text it out. You guys missed
I'll make sure to put the link into the description. But yeah, shout out to my guy Dexter Henry, SNY, New York Post, for having me on. It was a great conversation. Like my guy NFE said, that was a good show with Dexter. Good work, Hector. I appreciate you guys. But go ahead, TC. What's your thoughts?
Smooth operator. Casey's in the house. He says smooth operator. So so as far as Jason Dominguez, these projections, I think they're too low. I think he will have more than 119 plate appearances. I see him coming back late May, early June. Again, like Pete said, Stanton has his IL stint, so
his vacation.
He'll be in the lineup. And honestly, I don't see Stanton being a full-time DH. I think he's going to be resting some days, and especially against right-handed pitching. Mm-hmm. And Jason Dominguez is a switch hitter, so he can bat left. He can fill in, and the kid can hit. He's young, man. He's got such potential, and in this lineup with Stanton, with Judge and Soto, and Rizzo coming back. This is just it's a perfect situation for him. He's surrounded by professional hitters, and he's only going to get better. And the sky's the limit, and I think he's going to have a tremendous season. And as far as Wells, I agree too with Pete. I think Wells is going to be in Rookie of the Year consideration. I'm not sure how many games they're going to platoon him and Trevino, but look out for Austin Wells. He does. Someone mentioned in the chat, I think it was Rara. He's a young Thurman Munson. He does have that vibe to me. I was around when I saw Thurman Munson play. That guy, that guy's a legend. Too bad his career was cut short. And I hope that Austin Wells can continue on and be that type of player. I really see that. And sky's the limit again with this lineup. The lineup is not the problem. The health is the problem.
Yeah.
So I just hope to God that this team can stay healthy for once. Can we get a starting lineup to make it at least through half of the season together? That's all I want. That's all I want.
No, yeah, I'm right there with you. Shout out to my guy Anthony Garcia, mi hermano from the República Dominicano. Anthony Garcia, hope all is well. Salute to you, my guy. James Jimmy Randanzo is in the chat. James Randanzo, hope all is well. My guy Gio, unpopular opinion. Only problem, TC, you can't platoon Stanton / Dominguez. You can't take a bench spot for two players that can't play the field. When it comes to, shout out to Gio as well. When it comes to Stanton, right, I'm going into the season. My expectations for Stanton, I set the bar very low when it comes to Stanton, right? For the first month of the season, I'm sending Stanton out there on a regular basis as that DH. After the first month of the season, if Giancarlo Stanton hasn't improved from last year, if his batting average isn't over 200, we've come to the point where Stanton has to become a platoon player. And I know that may not be popular for a lot of you folks out there, hence the name Unpopular Opinion. Shout out my guy Gio. I know it may be unpopular, but Giancarlo Stanton, we cannot sacrifice the betterment of the team to see what we could get out of Giancarlo Stanton. I'm going to need in that first month of the season, if Stanton is not hacking it, if Stanton is not doing his job, I'm going to need him to start platooning, whether that's him sitting down against right-handers and only exclusively batting against left-handed pitchers. Because when you look at it, when you look at his splits from last year against left-handed pitching, Giancarlo Stanton was a 270 hitter, 260, 270 hitter. So I'll take that in a platoon. But against righties, I'm not putting Giancarlo Stanton out there. He's an automatic out, TC. How can you do that? What justifies and what warrants that?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. And yeah, Pop makes a good point. You can't have two DHs like that that can't play the field. But we'll find, Grisham can play the outfield. We can, have DH Soto. So I mean, we'll find a way to platoon Stanton if he's batting below 200. We can't. Yeah. This is an all or nothing year. This team, we went out and got Soto. We did some other changes. We're trying for a championship here. We don't have time to wait around for his bat to come around and find do this, do that, different stance, and he's losing weight.
Yeah,
like get it together. This is it. This is the last season. I'm honestly, if he doesn't work out, they have to find a way to cut him. They got to cut him.
Yeah,
I mean, keep the money. Is you can't go on. This is a championship team cannot have a guy like that in the middle of their lineup.
I think he has 4 or 5 years left on his contract, regardless of what it is. Giancarlo Stanton, he's not playing out that entirety of the rest of that contract.
There's no way.
There's gonna be a time, whether it's this year, whether it's the year after, whether it's 3 years from now, the Yankees are gonna have to face reality and cut bait when it comes to Giancarlo Stanton. It's just, what are you going to eat? How much are you willing to eat of that contract? Shout out to my guy Hector Cruz in the chat. Hector, we're gonna be out there from March 8th through March 13th out there in Tampa, right? So that's the dates that we are going to be out there with Peter NYY Underground. I'm gonna be out there a little bit early because it is the love of my life, her birthday, March 3rd. So we will be out there in Florida for the beginning of the month and probably stay out there for the entire month. I'm gonna make sure I'm out there to get a lot of Yankee content. I promise I won't get arrested for people that are worried about my safety and well-being. But guys, we got over 100 people in the building. If you guys can, smack that like button, hit the subscribe button as well. Shout out to my guy Yankee Kyle for always sharing us on his community tab. Yankee Kyle, I definitely appreciate you, my guy. And I see Yankee Kyle, he got a new profile picture, 100-year anniversary, Yankee Stadium. Yankee Kyle, how you doing? Salute, salute, salute. Let's see, Anna Marie, shout out to Anna Marie, one of my favorite in the community. They said, have Peraza play DH. He can steal some bases. Listen, Anna Marie, we may have to face that reality, whether that's playing Peraza at third base, DH and DJ LeMahieu sometimes, because like you said, TC, earlier, we need to always recognize that Giancarlo Stanton, he is going to go on vacation in the middle of the season. He is going to get his yearly DH. his little time on the list, on the IL list, and will be out for whether that's a month, whether that's 2 weeks. We don't know what it is, but you can always bank it that Giancarlo Stanton will go on vacation during the middle of the season. Now, when it comes to Stanton, we've seen the videos, we've seen the pictures. He looks amazing. He looks in amazing shape. Hopefully, his workout regimen this offseason, it leads to him being healthy and staying on the field and being able to perform and produce. If we get a renaissance season out of Giancarlo Stanton, I'll shut up. I'll be the first one to shut the hell up when it comes to Mr. Giancarlo Stanton. But I'm not putting the weight of our season hoping that Giancarlo Stanton comes back. Whatever we get out of Giancarlo Stanton is a plus, if you understand what I mean, TC. Go ahead, brother.
Sorry, just give me 1 second. I got to plug in my the battery charger. Give me 1 second.
Go ahead. Do your thing. Do your thing. As we switch, as I wait for my guy TC to come back, we're going to look at the entire depth chart when it comes to the New York Yankees. Again, this is brought to you by FanGraphs. This is their projection on where players are going to play for the majority of the season. So when you look at the outfield lineup, left field, center field, and right field, FanGraphs, they have Alex Verdugo playing 67% of his games in left field. They got Juan Soto playing 25% of his games in left field. Oswald Cabrera, 4%. Everson Pereira, 2%. Oscar Gonzalez, he's not on the team anymore, so they had him at 1%. We could scratch that. He's not on the team anymore. Giancarlo Stanton at 1% as well. I'm not sure about that. I think Giancarlo Stanton, his days in the outfield are done. You may see him out there 1 or 2 games out the week, if that, or 1 or 2 games in a month. But when you look over at center field, FanGraphs is projecting Aaron Judge 48% of the time, more than right field, to be in center field. Trent Grisham, they have him at 39%. Jason Dominguez, the Martian, 10% of the time will be in center field. Bubba Thompson, 2%. Alex Verdugo at 1%. When you look at right field, we got Juan Soto in right field 51% of the time. We got Aaron Judge in right field 42% of the time. Like I said, they have him playing center field more than they have him playing right field. Alex Verdugo, 4% of the time in right. Giancarlo Stanton at 2%. And Oswald Cabrera is at 1%. Folks in the chat, let me know what's your thoughts on these projections from FanGraphs when it comes to the Yankees outfield. Do you guys like it? Do you guys like Aaron Judge playing that much in center field? I'm not a fan of it. I want Aaron Judge to stay as healthy as possible. But if you was to ask me what is the better lineup, the better lineup is having Aaron Judge in left, Juan Soto in right, and Alex Verdugo in left field. My brother de la Isla, Anthony Medina, says it sounds about right. 100%, Anthony Medina. And like I said, I'm not a big fan of Aaron Judge being in center field. Like my guy L.I. Yankee King says, I hate Judge in center field. Yeah, I want to keep Judge as healthy as possible, especially when he's coming back from that big toe injury, the big toe that stopped our entire season last year. So I would definitely want to keep Judge healthy. Do not want to risk any injuries when it comes to number 99, our captain. My guy Ra in the chat says Yankees can't be that stupid to take a contract like that. Somebody had to sign off. He should be fired. I think this is in regards to Mr. Giancarlo Stanton, and all that blame falls on Brian Cashman. He was too quick with the gun. He couldn't wait another year to wait for Bryce Harper, but that's in the past. My guy Jonathan says we are sitting on 59 likes. Folks, what are we doing? We got over 100 people in the building. Let's run the likes up for this stream. Let's get it to, as close as we can to 100. My guy Richie Rivera from Empire State of Baseball says at some point it will get to the point where Soto / Verdugo have to DH to fit a better defender like Grisham in the outfield. Listen, Rich, I ain't arguing when it comes to that. That would be the better defensive lineup. And in all reality, that would probably be the better Yankee lineup because, again, you don't know what you're going to get out of Giancarlo Stanton. And Grisham is a left-handed bat. So having an extra left-handed bat in Yankee Stadium, you can't say no to that. My guy Eddie Snaps is in the building. He said he's here hoping for Bellinger to falling on the Yankees' lap. Listen, Eddie, that's Cody Bellinger is the most unique free agent I've seen in a long time. When you look at the Chicago Cubs and the moves that they are making this offseason, they traded with the Dodgers. They got some prospect back, a first baseman prospect. They already have a center field prospect and Pete Cronin also, whatever his name is. So it doesn't seem like there is a fit for Cody Bellinger with the Chicago Cubs. It doesn't seem like there's a fit for Cody Bellinger anywhere. So it would be very weird. Not weird. I would say I'm very curious to see where Cody Bellinger lands. If it's back with Chicago or it's with another team. We do know that Scott Boras his clients are still out there. Cody Bellinger is still out there. Blake Snell is still out there. So it's going to be interesting to see where both of those players land, if you understand what I'm saying. TC, my guy, how you doing, brother? See that you back. Everything good? Technical difficulties out the window?
Difficulties out. Internet came back. I'm good. Everything good.
Nice. Gotta love the internet being back. No worries. Again, folks, we are sitting at 2,888 subscribers. We are 12 away from 29. As you look at the depth chart, let's go into the infield now. So again, these are according to FanGraphs. When it comes to third base, FanGraphs, they have DJ LeMahieu, 58% of the time will be in the hot corner at third base. They have Oswald Peraza 32% of the time. So for you Yankee fans that want to see Peraza, like Yankee King, you should be getting him 32% of the time at third base. They got Ozzie Cabrera 10% of the time at third base. When you look at the shortstop, Anthony Volpe has that locked down. 88% of the time, we will see Anthony Volpe at shortstop. 8% will be Peraza, 3% will be Cabrera, and 1% Jeter Downs. We may see a Jeter Downs appearance at Yankee Stadium. We got Verdugo, we got Jeter Downs. The Mookie Betts trade is in Yankee Stadium. At second base, they got Gleyber Torres 92% of the time at second. They got Peraza just 3% of the time at second base. I know some fans would kind of want to see that rise up just a little bit. DJ LeMahieu 3% of the times will be at second base. Oswald Cabrera 1%. And again, another Jeter Downs appearance. Jeter Downs, according to FanGraphs, 1% of the time would be at second base. When you look at first base, they got Anthony Antonio Rizzo 76% of the time at first base. Hopefully, when it comes to Rizzo, he comes back healthy. He bounces back after having a horrible season due to concussions and for Fernando Tatis' his ass and shit. But you got DJ LeMahieu 22% of the time at first base. Oswald Cabrera 2% of the time at first base. Now, this was the one I was waiting to see because they have Austin Wells 48% of the time as your everyday catcher. Jose Trevino's at 45% and Ben Roitback is at 7% of the time. TC, I'm going to start off with the catching position. When you look at these projections from FanGraphs, are you surprised seeing Austin Wells 48% of the time as your everyday catcher? Folks in the chat, let us know as well. Are you surprised from these projections when you look at the catcher? Go ahead, TC.
No. I foresee Austin Wells getting the majority of the starts as catcher. Me, honestly, I think I might see it a little bit higher. I might be maybe 50 or 55% of the time that we'll see Austin Wells. I guess again, depending on the health of the team, that's the key. We don't know the future, and we don't know what's going to happen. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. I want to see more of Austin Wells. I mean, we need more hitting. Jose Trevino didn't give us much as far as a hitting catcher, and Wells in this lineup. I mean, it's a lengthy lineup now. That's 7, 8, 9 with Wells, Volpe, and whatever else they do. If it's Gleyber, if it's Verdugo. So we don't know. So it's a good end of the lineup. And he's a great catcher. He's proven he can throw out runners. Jose Trevino is a good pitch framer, and he's a good defensive catcher, and we need that as well. But honestly, we missed the offense last year, and Austin Wells provides that. So that's definitely an uptick, and we need to see more Austin Wells. So that's how I feel.
The last 2 months in the season, and like my producer back says, we got 66 likes, close to 100 people in the building. If you guys can smack that like button, let's get up to 100 likes on the stream. But like you said, when it comes to Austin Wells, right? When he first came up, the first 2 weeks was a bit shaky. It was a bit shaky offensively. Those last 2 weeks, he showed you what he can be or what he could be on a big league roster, right? The last 2 weeks, seeing what we got out of Austin Wells, it surprised me, and I was all here for all the surprises out of Austin Wells. If we could get that form of Austin Wells the last 2 weeks, I think we'll see big things out of Austin Wells. And granted, we don't know how it's going to shake out when it comes to the AL Rookie of the Year. If I had to put my money down on it, if Baltimore allows him to be up with the big league roster, I will put my money on Jackson Holiday to win Rookie of the Year. But Austin Wells is a solid sleeper. If Austin Wells has a solid season, he could be in contention for that Rookie of the Year conversation. But 48% of the time, I kind of like it. L.I. Yankee King said, hot take, Jose Trevino will catch Garrett Cole and Marcus Stroman. Austin Wells will catch everyone else. I can live with that. Right, I can live with that. Seeing Austin Wells 3 days out the week. Well, not 3 days out the week, but you know what I mean. 3 starters, and then you got Jose Trevino for the other 2 stars. I can live with that. If that's how the catching breakdown is going to shape up, I can live with that. What about you, TC?
Yeah, I mean, also don't forget it depends on who's pitching, because Austin Wells is left-handed and Trevino's right. So if it's a lefty on the mound, yeah, Trevino might get the start. But if there's a lot of righties, so Austin Wells might be getting a lot of starts facing a right-handed pitcher. So, but yeah, Garrett Cole, I can see him wanting a personal catcher. I don't know if it's Trevino. I know he liked Rortvet, but I don't see Rortvet being with this team much longer. I mean, in the chat, they're bringing up that he probably DFA'd because we have some spots that we need to be filled. Luke Weaver needs to be on the roster, and I think we're over 42 right now on the 40 man. So yeah, I don't see much of a future with him, either cut or sent down. I don't know if he has any more options, but yeah, I mean, LI might be right. It might be 3 out of the 5 games that we'll see Austin Wells. So
when you look at somebody in the chat, my guy Ra in the chat, they have the Yankees starting rotation being Cole, Rodon, Hampton, Stroman, and Warren. When you look at the starting pitching projections, they have Chase Hampton and Will Warren up there at the major league level. So we may see Chase Hampton and Will Warren during the season, right? Will they be the 3 and 5 starter? I'm not sure how that's going to shake out. I think, but when you look at these projections, 22% of the time, Garrett Cole will be the starter. And then you got Marcus Stroman and Carlos Rodon, 18% of the time, both. So according to FanGraphs is projecting Marcus Stroman and Carlos Rodon to be healthy and to be the next starting pitchers behind Garrett Cole. And then you got Clark Smith at 15%, but surprising Nestor Cortez at 14%. FanGraphs, they don't think Nestor Cortez is going to be healthy. They have him as 14% when it comes to starting pitchers, when it comes to how many times they're going to be on the mound out there. That's a bit alarming right there. But granted, we do have Will Warren, we do have Chase Hampton. So if Nestor Cortez does go down, we could see Chase Hampton, Will Warren, or a beater come up to fill that spot that is empty either by Nestor Cortez, Marcus Stroman, or Carlos Rodon. What's your thoughts on that, TC? And Ra, thank you for the 99 cent sticker, helping us keep the lights on. Salute to you, my guy.
Yeah, I mean, the FanGraphs base it on past performances, and yeah, we've noticed that Nestor Cortez and the likes, they can't stay healthy. So I think we have a good amount of depth behind them with the Will Warren, with the Weaver, with Chase Hampton, also Luis Hill. But I think that hanging on to these prospects like Pereira, Peraza will be key at the trade deadline to get another starter. And I think that's when they're going to use and pull the trigger, because the starting pitching, again, a lot of ifs. ifs, the question marks. It's Garrett Cole again, the workhorse, and who else? Who else will step up? You know, the Rodon's health. Will Stroman be healthy? Will Clark Schmidt, perform and be able to give you 150 innings? So
Yeah.
a lot of question marks. Uh, FanGraphs has it probably
Yeah.
correct as percentage go.
Yeah, and again, these are all just projections. Like I said
Yeah,
earlier, nobody has a
right.
crystal ball. Not
No,
everything is 100%, so we don't know what it's really going to be like this season. This is
of
just
course not.
projections of what is trending. So I like some of the projections. When you look at the DH, they got Stanton DH in 63% of the time. So maybe we
Yeah.
will see a more healthy Stanton this season. But they do have Juan Soto 21% of the time being a DH, Jason Dominguez 6% of the time. Aaron Judge 4% of the time, Rizzo 3% of the time, Austin Wells 2, DJ LeMahieu 1% of the time. I don't think we have to go in the bullpen because the bullpen is really our question mark, I feel, for the rest of the season. I want to switch things up, right? And because I feel right now, as of right now, are the Yankees playing it safe? Shout out to our friends over there at Fireside Yankees that said the Yankees are still monitoring the market for relievers with interest in Hector Neris, Wandy Peralta, and others. We discussed the internal options and their internal depth on the Yankees pitching side of things. I got a quote here from Jack Curry, if I can. Oh, look it up. I have it here on my phone. This is from the Yankee Hot Stove. I think the episode was last night or the night before. But this is what Jack Curry had to say, right? And we'll get into the conversation. TC and folks in the chat, I definitely appreciate you guys. If you guys can't smack that like button. But this is what Jack Kirby said. The Yankees are out on Montgomery. They are out on Blake Snell. And they are out on Neris. Chances are high that they bring back Wandy Peralta and Kenyon Middleton. Cease and Bieber make more sense at the trade deadline if needed. Yankees are counting heavily on Carlos Rodon and Nestor Cortez to bounce back to their 2022 form. I want to ask you, TC, is it a smart move by the Yankees front office to bank this season on a healthy Carlos Rodon and Nestor Cortez? Again, I've said this many times. I know the Yankees front office, when they look at the free agent market, when they look at Blake Snell, when they look at Jordan Montgomery, they do not value those starting pitchers the same way they valued and the same way they scouted Yamamoto. Could we agree on that, TC? We could agree on that, right?
Totally agree.
So as the front office values them differently, they aren't going to overpay for Blake Snell. Blake Snell is asking for 8 years, and I'm not comfortable giving Blake Snell, who is on the opposite side of 30, an 8-year contract. This is a guy that he rarely pitches into the 6th inning or into the 7th inning, right? He can get you into the 6th inning, but this past season, he only pitched once, getting his team into the 7th inning. I'm not giving an 8-year, $250 million contract to a starting pitcher that is like that. There are better starting pitchers next free agency. You got Corbin Burns, you got Max Trace coming, who's going to be a free agent from Atlanta as well. So there's better options in next year free agency class than it is right now. But TC, I want to ask you, is it smart or is it a bit of a gamble for the Yankees to bank on Rodon and to bank on Nestor Cortez? What's your thoughts, TC?
Well, this is the Yankees' MO. They're always playing it safe and always, thinking about the money when money should not be an issue. They print money, but playing it safe as far as and then I don't know if it's playing it safe banking on Rodon and Nestor Cortez. I mean, I'd have to tend to think that Carlos Rodon has to have a better season. He's going to bounce back. He wasn't healthy last year in the beginning. He was out the first 3 months of the season. So
That's what it felt like the first half of the season.
Yeah, so he had maybe 60 innings, like 12 starts, something like that. So I see him bouncing back and being that number 2 that we expected him to be. And then you got Stroman. He's the wild card. We'll see what he gives you. But Nestor, I don't see him. I see him. He'll be in the starting rotation, but honestly, I think I see him, tending to go to the bullpen. Maybe toward the end of the season, toward the middle end of the season. Again, we have Will Warren, we have Chase Hampton, we have guys that can step up and be that number 5 starter.
Yeah.
So So, um, with this whole playing safe, not wanting to get these free agents, and it's smart. I mean, some of these guys, their asking price is way too high. Snell's way too high. Cease, Burns, you know, like you said, Burns we can get next year for nothing, for just money. We don't have to give up, a Spencer Jones or a Hampton or a Jason Dominguez or someone like that. So, um, as far as the bullpen, I'd love to see a reunion with Wandy. NFB brings up Middleton. I think you brought up Middleton coming back as well. I'm not, opposed to that deal. The only thing that I'm concerned about is Clay Holmes as our closer. That's the only thing that there's a what if, I don't know. And then again, he might not, be the closer all the time. We had, Wandy close sometimes. We had, we also have Scott Effross coming back. Maybe he closes. So I don't know if I like the revolving door at closer. I did like the fact that they were looking at Hector Neris, but I think he's probably, wants too much money. You also got Josh Hader out there, but being the Yankees, they're not going to go out and get Hader. Hader's going to want 20 mil a year for what, 5 years, 6 years. So I don't see that happening. It's just concerning, but the bullpen to me is one of our strengths. I think it's okay. It's solid. We got enough guys. I just would like to see a top-notch closer. I just don't. I'm not sold on Clay Holmes as our everyday closer.
I'm right there with you when it comes to Clay Holmes, and I think my guy Rara said it in the chat perfectly. Our bullpen is shaky, right? I don't have confidence in this bullpen like I had confidence in prior Yankees bullpen in years past.
Yeah.
This bullpen, I know last year people love to throw out that stat. Yankees had the #1 bullpen in baseball when it comes to ERA or whatever they want to come. But when you look at inherited runners, this is a stat I always bring up. The Yankees were the worst in Major League Baseball when it comes to allowing that runner that was on base that you inherited to score.
Yes.
Granted, when it comes to our entire pitching staff, we were 9th in baseball and ERA. But when it comes to our bullpen, inherited runners, we were worse. We were dead last in Major League Baseball, always allowing that inherited runner to score. And that's a stat that I always wanted to throw out there. Yes, on paper, it looks like the Yankees have one of the top bullpens in baseball on paper. But when you start to dive into the numbers, you can kind of poke holes at that argument. Folks in the chat, we will be having the open panel. I will be throwing the link momentarily. We're going to rock out with the open panel to about like 12:45 before we got to get out of here. But my guy Jimmy27 from the Bronx says, Yankees need a real and true closer. Signing Josh Hader makes sense to be the next Yankee move this offseason. Hader wants a deal in the range that the Mets closer Edwin Diaz signed last year, about 5 years, $105 million per season, $105 million, $21 million per season. For me, I'm not doing it. When it comes to Josh Hader, I understand the arguments, especially with everything I just laid out about that bullpen. I just don't see the Yankees spending all that money for a reliever. I can see them spending that money for a starting pitcher, but for a reliever, I'm not too sure. So the conversation will be circling around the Yankees bullpen. So I will put the link into the chat for the open panel. Always remember, guys, when it comes to the open panel, we always got to be respectful. So please, if you guys can just respect the terms and services for YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. If somebody is in the middle of giving their take, allow them to finish, because the same time would be given to you so you can finish your take. We are 29 likes away from 100. If you guys can't smack that like button, let's get the stream up to 100 likes. But I want to show this because they showed it on the Yes Network when the Yankees Hot Stove was on. The Yankees prospects. Jason Dominguez, top 100 prospects in Major League Baseball. You got Jason Dominguez ranked number 16. Spencer Jones is ranked number 47. Everson Pereira is ranked at 67. Roderick Arias is ranked at 68. Austin Wells at 71. And Chase Hampton, 72. So the Yankees have 6 top 100 prospects. They are tied with the most top 100 prospects in Major League Baseball. They are tied with Baltimore. They are tied with Tampa, and they are tied with San Diego. If the Yankees never made that trade for Juan Soto, we will have Drew Thorpe, which would make it 7 top 100 prospects, number 1 in all of Major League Baseball. But as of right now, we are tied with Baltimore, Tampa, and San Diego. I'm going to bring you guys up as you guys showed up in the queue behind me. I mean, underneath me. So I'm going to bring up my guy, Jonathan, to join the conversation. Jonathan, my guy, how you doing? How you feeling? What's shaking and what's baking? What's up, Jonathan?
Not too much is going on, you know. My question really about closer, this is something I talked with Jason about. What do you think, assuming Luis Hill is healthy, what do you think about making him a closer?
At first, you know, right out the gate, first of all, that was a great question. I like Luis Hill. I like his stuff, 100 miles per hour fastball. How can you say no to that? But out the gate, I don't think he'll start the season as a closer. Could he potentially wind up being a closer? Maybe, right? Could he be a setup guy or a 7th inning guy? Maybe, but I think coming back from Tommy John surgery, especially when he was never a late inning reliever for the New York Yankees, I don't see them just throwing him into the fire. But if he has a phenomenal first month of the season or first 2 months of the season, there should be a conversation when it comes to Luis Hill, because he does have the stuff.
Another guy I was thinking about is, to limit his innings, is possibly Cortez. Possibly.
Not as a
but I know
closer,
that he's a starter, but maybe.
I can see Nestor Cortez coming out of the bullpen as a starter. I'm not too sure. Could he be a solid 7th or 8th inning guy? Absolutely, because he knows how to pitch in high pressure situation as a starter. He has done that in the past.
I think out of all the guys they have on their current roster, I think Luis Hill is the best option for closer.
Yeah. What's your thoughts, TC? And like my guy Rich Rivera said, hey, y'all, come on down to Somerset to catch these prospects and the best on-field host in action. Meaning, make sure you guys go to Somerset. Check out my guy Rich Rivera as he does his thing over there with the Somerset Patriots. Go ahead, TC. I'll throw it over to you. What's your thoughts on the conversation what Jonathan brought up about the bullpen?
Yeah, I mean, before he brought it up, I was actually gonna make that a statement about Luis Hill, but yeah, they are projecting him as a starter, but I think as the season progresses, I think he ends up in the bullpen somewhere, and you know, it wouldn't surprise me if he does end up being a late inning guy. I don't know about a closer, but maybe a setup guy. He's got the stuff, and man, do we need somebody like that? We need a hard throwing guy at the end of, you know, a strikeout pitcher. He's got to work on his control. We don't need a lot of walks out of a closer or a late inning guy. So that is a possibility. And I mean, I also heard that a lot of teams were checking in on Nestor. I don't know if that's still the case. Trying to move him. So I don't know if he's still with the team by spring training. So I don't know. There could be some moves to make. I don't know.
Don't the Yankees have too many men on the roster right now?
They do.
So they have to move some guys, and I assume that because they have 6 catchers on the roster, at least one of them will have to be moved.
I think Rich Rivera brought up in the chat. I'll say the perfect candidate for that is Ben Royback. We have to just, how can I say this? We just have to expel all of our demons from that Josh Donaldson trade. I don't want no one left over from that trade. I don't. IKF is gone. Josh Donaldson is gone. Now the last piece is Ben Royback. Ben Royback. I will pack your bags myself, my guy, and send you along your way.
Josh Donaldson is the new Voldemort.
Josh Donaldson is definitely the new Voldemort. My guy Albert Creams in the chat. Albert, I hope I said your last name right. I do apologize if I didn't. He said, how about David Robinson as a closer? As a closer, no, but I would entertain bringing David Robinson back just as an extra arm for that bullpen. David Robinson, he was solid with the Mets. I know he was traded to the Miami Marlins. When they try to use him as a closer, he burnt out towards the end of the season. As a closer, no, I wouldn't bring David Robinson in as a closer, but as an extra bullpen arm for that 6th or 7th inning role, absolutely, I will bring David Robinson back just for one more rodeo. let him retire with the New York Yankees. Let him have his last rodeo with the Yankees. But as a closer, I would say no. No. Ra says no. Anthony Medina says no. But Anna Marie, that's why you're my favorite. Anna Marie says bring back Mr. David Robertson. What about you, TC? How do you feel about D-Rob?
I love D-Rob when he was here, but yeah, as far as closer, I'm not sold on him being that guy again. I don't know. He just doesn't have the stuff he used to. Sixth inning, seventh inning guy. Yeah, I'm not opposed to that. He's a solid guy. He's got a lot of experience in that role. So no, I don't hate that. Also, another name was Robert Stevenson. That name was thrown out there
Stevenson,
as well, as another guy to bring in if they don't want to bring back Wandy or Middleton. So I mean, there's some names out there. There's some guys they can bring in.
Stevenson has been a name that's been floated, solid reliever as well. I got a couple more people backstage that I want to bring up into the conversation. Again, I bring you guys up as you guys showed up in the queue backstage. So I'm gonna bring my guy Li Yankee King to join the conversation. The number one hater of all haters is my guy Li Yankee King. Li, I know you feel very strong when it comes about Josh Hader. So let's have a very constructive conversation when it comes to that. All right. Not going to get emotional, anything like that. So I'll throw it over to you. Make it short, make it sweet. What is your plea to Yankee Universe when it comes to Mr. Josh Hader? Go ahead, brother.
First, can I say I disagree with something that TC has said during the stream? He said money should not be an issue. Here's the thing. Yankees are $13 million over that luxury tax threshold of $297 million. That means they are taxed at 110%
on the dollar. Yep,
on the dollar. So they're at probably between $50 and $60 million of taxed money. So Hal don't want to pay that because you ain't rich if you paying taxes.
Wait, say that last part again. You broke up in my ear. What you said?
Rich people do not pay taxes. Because you don't get rich paying taxes.
When I see your argument when it comes to that, I'll let TC defend his statement. But for me, when it comes to the Yankees are worth over $8 billion, right? I don't care that the Yankees taxes goes to help the Kansas City Royal pay their payroll. I don't care that the Yankees taxes go to the Oakland Athletics to help them pay their payroll. At the end of the day, you have an $8 billion operation in front of you, which is called the New York Yankees. The New York Yankees in 2022 made close to $500 million off of merchandise alone. I don't want to hear no argument about, oh, I don't want to pay the taxes, because you do have the money to pay the taxes. And let's be frank, rich people, regardless if you hate them, regardless if you love them, they know how to get around not paying taxes. Even if they have to pay the taxes, they know how to get around not paying the taxes. TC, I want to throw it over to you because he framed it towards you. Go ahead, TC.
Yeah, it's okay, Li. No offense, but the Yankees, yeah, they print money. They get money from, the TV revenue, from the insurance that they got the little patch. They getting money all over Amazon Prime, all kinds of money coming in. Especially now they got Juan Soto, all the merchandise they're going to sell from him. So there's no holding back on money spending. They try to con you into, oh, we're going to stay under this tax and blah. Who cares? We want a championship. We're not here to balance budgets. They got to bring a championship. And when they can bring a championship back to this team and back to the city of New York, then maybe they can then worry about that later or down the road. But we want a championship now. We're going all in with Juan Soto. So, don't do that type of move and then say, oh, we're going to, pinch pennies here. No, that doesn't work. I'm tired of hearing about the payroll and the luxury tax. I'm done with that. I'm done hearing that. They've been doing this since 2009. Sorry. Spend the money, get a championship here, start acting like the evil empire, and let's go. I'm done with it.
If I was I would be more concerned with the position of the draft pick rather than spending too much money. Because when you spend so much money, you drop 10 spots on the draft. If there's a complaint to be made.
Yeah, and that's a valid point, Jonathan. You're spot on. Shout out to Grace Monroe in the building, one half of the GG show. Guys, please make sure you check out the Grace and Gio show every Saturday. They have been killing it on the channel. Grace Monroe, I appreciate you. Gio, I know Gio, you're in the chat. Gio, drop the number so people can call into the show and leave you guys a voicemail. Guys, please leave Grace and Gio some voicemail so the conversation can get a little bit spicy. Li, hold on 1 second because I do have some more people. I'll get it back to you. Just hold on 1 second. I got Damien and then I got Michael Caputo. Like I said, I bring you guys up as you guys showed up in the queue. So I'm going to bring up my guy Damien and then Michael Caputo. My guy Damien, what is good, handsome? Salute, my guy.
What up?
Damien?
What's going on, everybody? TC, Jonathan, Li, my dude, Hector. Yo, Hector, first and foremost, when you're in Tampa, we got to link up. I'm right outside of Tampa. So
I'm right there.
That's a must.
Where at?
How's everybody?
Are you right outside of Tampa or are you in Tampa?
I'm like 30 minutes away. So
okay, cool.
I'm a hop, skip, and a jump away. I'm right by like Clearwater. So
okay, I'm gonna be 15 minutes away from the George M. Steinbrenner Field. So I'm gonna be around there. So I'll have my rental car. We'll link up. I'll send you my number, and then we'll go have some Chino Latino out there, bro. Show me the spots.
Absolutely, I got you. I got you. So Chicharron and Mount Goof for everybody. Let's go.
My guy. All right, Damien, I want to throw it over to you. The conversation right now is on the bullpen. What's your thoughts? Do you think the Yankees should spend that $21 million per season for Hector or go the normal route that they do? Go ahead, Damien.
Absolutely not. Not spending $20 million on Hector. We made that mistake once before. We made that mistake twice, not only with Chapman, but with Britton as well. And all we kept hearing about for 3 years was, well, we have the Chapman and Britton money. That's all we kept hearing. So for us to do that again, make that mistake again, I don't want to go nowhere near that. Especially, the Yankees have done a great job the last couple years with their pitching, specifically bullpen pitching. So a lot of guys that can come up and handle the job. Do I trust Clay Holmes? Absolutely not. I do not trust him one bit. The Yankees got to figure that out. But to spend $20 million on Hector, absolutely not.
Yeah.
I'm big on character. And as much as the guy is a dog and as much as the guy closes and whatnot, for somebody to tell their manager, tell somebody, look at their teammates in their faces and says basically, go screw yourselves. I ain't going out there in the eighth. I got a big problem with that. Yeah. And if he's going to do it, some people are like, well, I don't care what he did over there in San Diego. Well, he's going to do it. He did it there with Juan Soto, with all these guys on that lineup. He looked at them in their face. So what? He's not going to tell Judge and everybody else, I'm not going to pitch the eighth. Of course he is. So I got a huge problem with that. That's my biggest hang up with Hector. Yeah. If it was anything else, sure. But the fact that he did that with that type of lineup behind him, that's a big problem for me.
So 100%. My guy Richie said it's Barry Wright, Luther Vandross, and my guy Damian Serrano. 100% Rich Rivera when it comes to the vocal cords. But no, Damian, you hit it right on the head, bro. Because if Yankee fans, this is what I don't understand sometimes about like the logic that some fans have out there, right? Again, you guys know me. I never tell people how they should fare. That's one of the things I don't do. But I want to understand the logic. Some Yankee fans, they have issues with Twitter posts from Marcus Stroman, right? They have issues with Marcus Stroman judging his character. But when it comes to a guy like Josh Hector, who literally quit on his team and told his manager, I don't want to go out there for an extra out. This might walk you. I'm more worried about my money. How can you be okay with a player like that, but not a player like Marcus Stroman? That's where I need to understand what's the logic behind the thought process, right? Because one guy said some mean stuff on Twitter. The other guy literally told his manager and his teammates, I'm not pitching the 4 routes. I got to wait and I got to save my arm. I'm on a walk here. This is my contract here. I'm not doing that. How can you want to have that person on your team, but not Marcus Stroman? That right there is just a bit alarming to me. Damien, what's your thoughts on that? And let's get the guys in the conversation. After you, Damien, throw it over to Jonathan, TC, and Li before we bring up Caputis.
You hit it right on the head. I mean, I couldn't say it any better myself. You got like I said, everybody's going at Stroman. And am I crazy about the signing? I'm okay with it. I'm not against it either. The type of mentality Stroman brings to the team is exactly what we need as far as character. Because I tell you one thing, Stroman's going to have everybody's back in that team. There's not one person that he's going to look at and say, I don't have your back. Everybody, he's going to have everybody's back. And that's New York from the head to the toe. That's what New Yorkers are. We're very loyal, and we'll never turn our backs on any of our people. So that's the one thing when I look at Stroman that I love. But the hater, no thank you. I'll say I'll pass on hater. That's a big pass.
Yeah, Yankee fans, you guys should know if there's ever a brawl and the dugouts have to empty out, you can guarantee Marcus Stroman will be one of the first ones to hop out of that dugout. Now, if he's acting, hiding behind his friend like homie back, that's a different type of scenario. But you can guarantee Marcus Stroman is that first one out of the dugout.
He's not a Tim Anderson.
He's not a Tim Anderson. He don't got that glass jaw. I want to throw it over to Jonathan to get his take on what Damian just brought up about hater. Then throw it over to TC, throw it over to Li and Caputo. I know you're backstage, but I'm gonna bring you up right after the guys go. Go ahead, Jonathan.
I think Stevenson is the most is the choice and not hater. Hater, I think Yankee fans will kick his ass every time they see him on the big screen. They might have to go to shop on Amazon for new televisions if they see that, because I don't think Hader is ever going to be in a Yankee uniform.
No,
and they don't want to spend $100 million on a pitcher, a closer.
No, I'm right there with you, bro. TC, what's your thoughts on the Josh Hader conversation, and then wrap it over to Li, and then so we could bring up Michael Caputo to join us in the conversation before we get ready to dip out. Go ahead, TC.
Yeah, I know I talked about spending money, but I'm not spending money on Hader. No, there's other places we can spend money on. I'm not giving him $20 million, especially of all the points you guys made about his his personality and what he brings to a team with refusing to go out there. So. I would have preferred to have Neris, but apparently he's wanting too much money. So, Stevenson and bringing back Wandy Peralta or Middleton. Those are my guys. Those are my picks to round out this bullpen. No, the Hader. I'm a hard pass on Hader. No.
My guy EY Eric Wallace in the chat with the fire. He said Stro may not be the favorite Yankee, but I guarantee you this, Hader is not Yankee material. Shout out to my guy Eric Wallace, EY in the chat. Li Yankee King, I'm gonna throw it over to you. What's your thoughts on the conversations about Hader? And just remember, you said the Yankees don't want to spend money. So what's your thoughts when it comes to Josh Hader? Go ahead, my guy.
I have to explain this again. Hader, yes. Did he say no to his manager for pitching a 4-out save? Yes, but there is context. And as always, like I have to explain to the God of War fans with the OG story, I have to explain to Yankee fans. Context is always key.
Yeah.
If you look at the standings at the time, before Josh Hader even was able to get his name called, and usually Hader's the last one to get his name called, they were 8 games back with 9 teams to jump. And it was already August. And it was late August.
You can still make up some ground in August, though. Li, go ahead. My fault. I'm sorry. I thought you started. I apologize. Go ahead.
And the Padres are already looking and falling off. You have Hader get that 4-out save, and they're what? They had the same record as us. They were 82 and 80. Actually, no, they were the opposite of us. They were 80 and 82. So what? What is that going to get you to? 81 and 80? 81 and 81? Cool. You get one more win because Josh Hader did 1-out save. Cool. Josh Hader is now feeling, okay, cool. So I just did a 4-out save for no reason. I just did a 4-out save for nothing. Get us in the playoffs. And the people, the media, literally said, oh, it would have taken a miracle. It would have taken a miracle for the Padres to make the postseason. But, Hader still should have pitched. No.
So I just want to fill in because you said something when you first started your statement. Context matters, right? So context, I think, is very important when we're having this conversation. The San Diego Padres, they finished the season 82-80, basically identical records like the New York Yankees. The third wild card team had 84 wins. The Padres were 2 games behind that third wild card team, LI Yankee King. They were in competition for that third wild card team. And what I'm saying, when it comes to Mr. Josh Hader, I do not want a guy, and I'm not willing to pay a guy $21 million who is willing to quit on his team and not coming to the game. Now, if it was the end of September and they were 10 games back of the wild card, mathematically eliminated, copy, then your argument will have some validation to it. But I think is logically inconsistent if you're saying that he didn't want to go out there for no reason whatsoever. There was a reason. You were still in the hunt for that third wild card team, right? So like I said, it is logically inconsistent if at one hand you said the Yankees don't want to spend money and they don't have to spend money because they're over the luxury tax threshold, but on the other hand you're saying that they should go out there and sign Josh Hader, who is going to cost them $21 million. You already pointed out the fact that they are over that luxury tax threshold, so signing a Josh Hader 110% on the dollar would turn his $21 million into $42 million when it comes to the luxury tax threshold. So that's why for me, it's a hard pass for me when it comes to Josh Hader. I got one more person who's down there, Michael Caputos, who's going to join us in the conversation. We're going to circle around the table one more time before we get ready to dip up out of here. So I'm going to bring up my guy, Caputis. Caputis, what's your thoughts on the conversation? I know you're stressed out. I know you're upset about the Yankees, but what's your thoughts on the bullpen after you go? I want to throw it over to my guy, Damien, because I know my guy, Damien, be out on the town, so I want to respect his time. Go ahead, Caputis.
Okay, I actually do want Josh Hader because this is an all-in season, and there's no the Yankees should be taking no prisoners. This is the year, not 25, 26, 27, 24, and 24 only. This is, you just traded for Juan Soto, one of the best players in baseball. There's no half-stepping. There's no, we're keeping a whole farm system. We're not overspending. That's it. Everything is on the line. Everything's on the table. All bets are off. The Yankees are supposed to win the World Series in 24, and you can't like half-ass it again and do what you did every offseason since 2009. I'm getting sick and tired of this. I'm fed up, and this team is going to give me a nervous breakdown and give me a heart attack. I'm tired of this crap. If they don't get Snail or Hader, then there's going to be revenge. I'm going to get revenge on this team, and I'm really going to be pissed off because I'll boycott this team if they don't get Snail and Hader. Okay, I'm getting sick and tired of what the Yankees do every freaking season. I mean, they're like the New York Jets of baseball. I mean, do they want to win a championship, or they just want to like save money and freaking use this crap with Spencer Jones and Warren? And it's annoying. Go out there. You have an $800 billion payroll. You're worth $8 billion. Go and freaking invest it and win a championship. Look what the Dodgers do. They're laughing at the Yankees. They're making the Yankees look like a footnote. It's pathetic. I'm sorry I had to get this out. Sign Hader.
Oh, no. Get it off your chest, folks. This is what
I'm sorry. There's nothing to do with that the guy has all field issues. There's a lot of guys with antics. That's not my problem. The problem is with him that he's not talented. He's not a talent. If this guy was a number one or a number two, I would be all for him doing what he wants to do, blocking people on Twitter. I don't even give a crap about his antics. It's the fact that the guy's not good. He's a number 4, number 5 starter. How can you get on the train when somebody is a back-end starter? He's not good. He's not putting you over the top. They're not winning a championship. Mm-hmm. It's not a World Series move. How could you be over for that?
This is what I'm going to say when it comes to that. And you had valid points, Caputo. You guys know that I value and I hold it very close to me when it comes to mental health. So for the rest of this month, I will be taking donations to get Caputo a mail order bride. If you guys want to donate super chats, we are going to send. I'm joking. Caputo, I understand your frustrations. I definitely do. I think every Yankees fan. No, listen, Caputo. It's called growth. You was able to say all of that without cursing. That's called growth, my guy. We are making progress in 2024. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
But honestly, I understand your frustrations when it comes to the team. I think all of us understand your frustrations when it comes to this team, right? We are all frustrated. We all want in Yamamoto. We all want this team in 2024 to be better than what they were in 2023.
I'm not even like Hector. I'm not even upset about the Yamamoto thing anymore. I'm over that. I got over that.
Oh, you sure? You sure you're not upset? Because I can't tell. You sure?
No, because I'm actually not upset about that because I thought they were going to trade for Dylan Cease or Shane Bieber. I thought they had a plan B, but obviously they don't have a plan B. They got butthurt because they couldn't sign Yamamoto, and then they just punted the rest of the season and said, "We're not doing anything else. This is good. We'll sign Marcus Stroman."
To be fair, right? And I want to keep the conversation going. I want to throw it over to my guy Damian right after me, and after Damian, throw it over to TC, Jonathan, and Li. To be fair, right, Caputo. To be fair, when it comes to the trade market, right? Dylan Cease, a 4+ ERA last year. The White Sox wanted Jackson Holliday, the #1 prospect in all of Major League Baseball. The Baltimore Orioles are not trading Dylan Cease. Yeah, the Yamamoto contract, it broke the pitching market in Major League Baseball. Because of that Yamamoto historic contract, the asking price for pitchers right now are crazy. 8 years for Blake Snell. I'm not comfortable giving Blake Snell 8 years, $250 million. That's cool. True. Copy. I'm not giving Jordan Montgomery 6 years at the other side of 30 over $200 million. I'm not doing it either. I'm not gutting our entire farm system for a guy like Dylan Cease, who pitched to an ERA over 4 last year and who has bad historic numbers in Yankee Stadium. Listen, respectfully, respect. You're able to have that issue. I want to throw it over to Damian and get the other guys involved on the conversation. Caputo, I'll circle back to you. But Damian, what's your thoughts when it comes to the frustration from Michael Caputo? And then throw it over to TC, Jonathan, and Li. Go ahead, Dame.
Just want to say, Marcus Stroman, 3.65 lifetime ERA. Just putting it out there. I point out how many of those are on the market right now. Not many. Dylan Cease, he's as much as a wild card and a toss of the dice as Marcus Stroman is. Point blank, period. He had one good season, one good season. That's it. That's all he's proven. So we're always talking about unproven players. Dylan Cease is an unproven player. He had one good season, point blank, period. So I'm not giving up Spencer Jones for Dylan Cease. No way. I'm not doing it. I'll tell you, I'm telling Yankee fans this, and I said it last time on the last pod, the last open panel. I get it. We're all frustrated. It's been 15 years. And Hector, you know me. I've gotten on Brian Cashman as much as anybody else.
Oh, yeah. I know that, bro.
But the fact of the matter is that the Yankees have done something the last 3 to 4 years, right? With building and building and building to the point where their peers have put them ahead of the game when it comes to their system. So I'll tell you what, Posada wasn't proven, Williams wasn't proven, Jeter wasn't proven. All our top guys, Pettit, so on and so, none of them were proven until they were, and then we had a dynasty. So I get it, Judge and Cole, we don't want to waste their primes, and I totally get that. But whose fault is that? That's Cashman's fault. Point. That's it. So at this point, now we got to trust what they're doing. And I'm as frustrated as you, Caputo, even though you may not think so. I am. Listen, I've been through the 80s. As much as you guys want to think, I've seen the Danny Tartables. I've seen the Mel Halls. I've seen the worst, the Steve Balbonis. I've seen them all, okay? But I've also seen the dynasty, and I've seen what it could turn into. Unfortunately, Don Mattingly went through what he went through, and he got hurt until he can enjoy the fruits of his labor. But now we have a situation here where we got a Dominguez coming up. We got Jones coming, and we have a flock of players coming that I can guarantee you are going to help this team far more than giving them up for Dylan Cease. I promise you guys that. So that's my take on that. And one thing also I'm going to say is Toronto's done nothing. Baltimore has done nothing. Tampa has done nothing. The Red Sox have done nothing. The only team to improve their team this year in that AL East are the New York Yankees.
Bingo.
Are our New York Yankees. So Caputo, I get your frustration. I don't agree with it. I respect it, but I respectfully disagree. And I do gotta go. I want to say one thing.
No problem.
Guys, Jason Dominguez comes to spring training, has that spring training here last season. Verdugo gets traded? I don't know.
Hey, if Jason Dominguez has what the spring training he had last year, he'll definitely be knocking on the door. But Damian, my brother, appreciate you like always with your great insight. I put in the comment section, in our private chat on StreamYard, not sure if you can see it. I put my phone number in there, so you could grab my phone number. That way, text me. So when I'm down in Tampa, we can link up, Damian. And the folks in the chat, they want you to drop the skincare routine, my guy, because you said you was watching the Yankees in the 80s, bro. You don't age, bro. You don't age. You look good out there, my guy.
I appreciate it. My 15-year-old daughter would say different, but you know what I mean? I appreciate you as always, everybody, TC, Hector, Jonathan, LI, Caputo, as much as we go at it, I appreciate you too, my guy. So, everybody in the chat, I appreciate y'all. Have a good day. Hector, I'm going to check out that number. We'll link up. Everybody take care.
You be safe, my guy. That was our guy, Damian Serrano. Folks in the chat, throw the like buttons up for our guy, Damian. TC, I want to throw it over to you to get you into the conversation when it comes to that last tidbit Caputo put out there. And then pass it over to Jonathan and Li. And we're going to circle back to Caputo before we close things out. Go ahead, TC.
Yeah, I mean, Damian summed it up. I mean, we're all frustrated, as you are, Caputo. And, we understandably, but the Yankees have to, spend their money wisely.
I'm laughing. I'm sorry. DJ Stills in the chat. His profile pictures of Pete is fucking hilarious. My fault. Go ahead, TC.
I know. Did Pete approve of that? I don't know. That's great. Yeah. No, they gotta spend their money wisely. They've just thrown money at people, in the past 10, 15 years that just never worked out. And they got to be smart, and they gotta build up their farm system, and they're slowly doing that. And they got to find that core four again, because that's what brought the Yankees a dynasty. And it looks like they're in the process of doing that. Judge is a little farther along, but you got Dominguez, you got Volpe, you got Wells. So there's some guys there that they're building upon this dynasty, bringing in the young guys to build on top of, the last years of Judge and Cole, and hopefully Soto's here for a long time. But yeah, we can't just be throwing money at these guys, and there's other ways to do it. Mm-hmm. And I understand, this is an all-in year, and I agree with you, Caputo. They have to go all in. By getting Soto meant this is an all-in year. But you can't just, get a Hader or get a Snell and these crazy contracts. I mean, at the trade deadline, that's when I think the Yankees will make their move and get rid of some of these Pereira, Peraza, some of these guys that are just don't have a fit on this team, and get that starter that they need, because the price is way too high, and at the deadline it might come down. So as of right now, I'm not okay with what they have right now. I think they still need to make some moves, but getting a Hader or Snell at the price that they want, it's just not the right thing to do.
Oh boy.
And it's not the right thing to do, and it's not realistic, right? Because when you bring up those contracts, those bad contracts, they bite you on the ass in the last 3 to 4 years of those contracts. Look at the Washington Nationals. LI favorite player over there, Patrick Corbin, is biting them in the ass with the contract that he got a few years ago. So those bad contracts, they bite you in the behind years later. Jonathan, I'll throw it over to you to give your take when it comes to what Caputo said, and then throw it over to LI, and then we'll circle back to Caputo to get out of here.
Choice, I would much rather trade for Clase over getting Hader. If I had a choice.
Yeah, I'll see. Sign me up for that, Jonathan. I'll be willing to trade for Emmanuel Clase instead of.
I don't think Hader is a good fit for the Yankees. I don't think he can handle the New York media. The New York media will put him in a shredder and throw him into the Hudson. He's gonna sink faster than the Titanic.
My guy Jonathan dropping bars out there. Hold on 1 second. Ra in the chat said, Hector, what's the youngest team in the major leagues? I think right now, if you don't count him, I think if you take away Salvador Perez from the Kansas City Royals, I would say the Kansas City Royals, the Oakland Athletics as well is going to be a very young team this season. Maybe the Marlins, because Jorge Soler is going to be gone. So the Marlins, the Diamondbacks, the Kansas City Royals, like I said, the Oakland Athletics, those would be the young teams in baseball.
The youngest, best team.
Yeah, the Diamondbacks is definitely the best, youngest team in Major League Baseball. But you could have other teams in that conversation. I want to throw it over to you to get your thoughts on what Michael Caputo said, because it's a fair balance, right? Yes, we want to see this team improve, but we got to understand we can't just throw money at holes that are in a sinking ship. You got to be able to clog that with young talent from your minor league system. So, Li, I know you're big on a lot of these prospects. Go ahead. I'll give it to you. The floor is yours. And then throw it over to Caputo so we can wrap things up. Go ahead, brother.
Now, Michael, with the prospects, you have to have them come up to balance out the payroll, with Judge making 40, Cole making 36. Rodon at 27? 27, right?
Yeah, 27.
Okay. Colt, Rodon at 27. DJ at 15. Anthony Rizzo at 20. Giancarlo at 32 or 27 this year? I think it's 32 this year.
Yeah, 32. Yeah.
So you have to have the young guys to come up and lower that a bit and offset. What every other team does is they have their big contracts, they have their young guys offset. That's what the Dodgers are doing. They're getting their big stars and getting the young guys to offset. That's what they are doing.
That is a great point, Li. And
2024.
I just wanted to add on, that is a great point, because the Dodgers, right, over the past 3 years, they have put a conservative effort to lowering their payroll. Their payroll this past season was 183 to 185 million. After that David Price contract went out, they let a lot of big time contracts expired. So they was at 180. The reason why they were able to add 120 to 150 million to their payroll is because their payroll this past season was 180 something million dollars. If they had a $290 million payroll like the Yankees, I don't think they would have added all that money to their payroll. But because they had 180 on the books, they were able to add that. Shut up, DJ Stills. They was able to add that to their payroll. Caputos, I want to throw it over to you, right? Final thoughts, because we're going to get ready to wrap things up. Folks, make sure you guys tune in next week, Tuesday. We're going to have our Hall of Fame episode. We're going to be talking about the Hall of Fame and the ballots that came out and didn't come out. And then next week, Thursday, mark it in your calendar. Our guy, Keith McPherson, is coming back onto the Yankees Morning Brew. Keith McPherson from WFAN. And our friend Frank Luna will be here as well. We're going to be doing some Duck Races giveaways. We got some signed Aaron Boone memorabilia to give away. And as well, next Saturday, the 27th, Aaron Boone will be in Oceanport, New Jersey for a Q&A autograph signing. Keith McPherson will be emceeing it. If you guys want to attend that, make sure you tune in next week. The information will be in the descriptions of the video, and we will give one ticket away, but you have to be in the tri-state area. You got to be able to make the event in order to be in the conversation or to be in the drawing for that giveaway. Caputos, I want to throw it over to you. The floor is yours. You heard the fellas respond to you. What's your thoughts before we get out of here, my guy?
Okay. Well, like I told you, this farm system, like hoarding thing, I mean, the fact that this is an all-in season, once again, I have to say I'm not like supporting that, because it's all about winning a World Series. And first of all, the Yankees have called up their prospects last year. They were actually second to the Dodgers in playing their prospects, and they called everybody up, and it didn't really go well. And they didn't even make the playoffs. So this whole idea of the farm system being this foundation of the Yankees hasn't worked since the late 90s. I mean, this team hasn't won since 2009. So it's all about winning now. I'm okay with keeping some prospects, but not the whole entire farm system. And I still say they have to sign Snell or Hector. Now, I mean, one of the two, because I know they're not going to sign both, but at least give me one of those guys, and I'll be happy. Then I'll forget about Marcus Stroman, because if they don't at least get one of those guys, This is not. I'm sorry. This is not a playoff team. And also they can make a trade at the deadline possibly, if maybe for Corbin Burns. If they get like another reliever, they could get Burns at the deadline or Beaver. And then this is then I'll say they're a World Series team. If they make one of those moves, if Hader and Snell, I'll give them an A+ if they do that. But if this is like all they're doing, I mean, this really has me concerned, man, because this is like every season we go through this. And I'm not trying to look. I'm not trying to take a shot at the whole entire Yankee fan base. But this fan base, the old school fans, we want to win. These new generation TikTok Yankee fans, it seems like they're content every single year, no matter what the Yankees do, and they support the moves. Like I could see if we're getting great players, but we're making mid-tier moves. You can't be a supporter of these mid moves. How could you say that this is great when we're settling for mediocrity every season? Like, and the fans are just like, okay, this is all right. And remember, this is the same fan base, Hector, that said fire Boone, fire Cashman, blow the team up, or build a World Series team. But that same fan base changes their tune in the offseason and sees that we do nothing because Cashman never answers to the fans. He never gives the fans what we want. And then they just say, okay, this is okay. We wanted a World Series team, and we got this team. So this is what pisses me off. It's the fact that the fans can't all unite and say, we want a World Series, but this front office doesn't do the job. And then
I get it, Caputo. Trust me, I get it. And I think, a lot of the fan base get it as well. Like they did organize a Fire Brian Cashman Day at the stadium, right?
You want the guy fired. Why do you support these moves then?
And the simple thing is that because he's not going to be fired, right? He's not going to be fired right now. So are we not going to watch the team? We're not supporting him by watching the team. We're supporting our team. We're supporting Aaron Judge.
Like
and when you talk about the farm system since the late 90s, we did produce Aaron Judge out of that same farm system you're talking about. Arguably one of the best hitters, if not the best hitter in all of Major League Baseball. He just set the record 2 seasons ago for 62 home runs. Granted, a lot of the moves that Brian Cashman made over the past 3 years, they didn't hit. Josh Donaldson didn't hit. Giancarlo Stanton didn't hit. You're not going to hear me defend any of that. Frankie Montas didn't hit. But what you will hear me defend, and this is something that L.I., TC, and Jonathan can agree with me on, when you look at the talent we have in our farm system right now. The last time we had this much talent in the farm system was the late 90s. The early 2000s, we didn't have this type of farm system.
I don't know.
The middle of the 2010s, we didn't have this farm system.
Do you agree with this, Hector? If Volpe hits 209 again, if he doesn't raise that,
you heard me and Pete earlier talk about it. We want Anthony Volpe to be a 240, a 260 batting average. None of us will accept a 209 batting average. I don't think none of us would accept that as Yankee fans. None of us is going to accept that. If Austin Wells hits under 200, none of us is going to accept that. Caputo, if Rizzo, if Juan Soto hit under 200, none of us Yankee fans are going to accept that, guys. But guys, we got to get ready to dip out just because I do have a doctor's appointment later on. Again, appreciate all of you guys for joining to the open panel. Caputis, L.I. Yankee King, Jonathan. I'll let you guys go as of right now so me and TC can close things out. But TC, my guy, that was a very entertaining conversation with our boys. Again, I'll throw it over to you, TC. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, overall, we're all a little bit frustrated with some of the moves that we're not doing, but overall, I mean, I'm pretty happy with what they have. I mean, the Stroman deal had me a little, second guessing, but I'm on board. And we all forget Juan Soto is on this team now. Juan Soto, just let that sink in. And Alex Verdugo, the lineup is better. Health is huge. Health is the key. But I'm looking forward to spring training and seeing what these guys, bring. And Stanton slimmed down. Rizzo's healthy. Let's just hope that everyone can stay on the field this year and see what we can do. When moves are presented, we'll make them. There's guys out there to still yet to improve this team. 100%. And I think Cashman is still waiting to pounce on something that, the deals, the price comes down. So I have confidence in that, slim as it may be, but you know,
slim, very slim. I'm
very slim.
I'm right there with you.
He's made some bonehead moves, but let's just look forward to the season. You know, it's 3 weeks away for spring training, so can't wait to see you out there and the content you produce in Florida. So you know, we got a lot to look forward to.
Oh yeah,
and you know, let's sit back and relax.
Yeah, the Yankees. I'll tell you, Yankees' first spring training game. It's I'll tell you right now. It's in February, so it is next month. We're literally 30 days, less than 30 days away. First spring training game for the New York Yankees is February 24th against the Detroit Tigers, and then they play the Phillies, and then they play the Blue Jays for a split squad game. But February 24th, a Saturday, like I said, literally less than 30 days away. Like we're literally right around the corner. January is about to be over with. I cannot wait for spring training to come here. It's been very slow over the past couple of weeks when it comes to reporting Yankee content. We're trying our best to keep these shows entertaining, to keep these shows fun. So we appreciate all of you guys that are in the chat. My guy Macho King is in the building. Hey, salute to you, Macho King. Salute to my guy Jonathan. My guy FL Diver is in the building. Appreciate you as well. Mr. Perez Victorino is in the building. Appreciate you. Shout out to my guys over there at Empire State of Baseball. Make sure you guys tune in this Monday. And Caputo, the TikTok Yankee fans. I like TikTok. Am I a TikTok Yankee fan then? Because I like TikTok. I'll be on TikTok. You know, it helps me out.
You're not
in the day. Shout out my guy Anthony Medina in the chat, my guy Gio as well. Unpopular opinion. Anna Marie, appreciate you. Truth always. Rah, appreciate you. Eric Rollins 01LS1Z28DABX, my guy. Salute to you. DJ Steels, keeping it fun. Big Time Jerry, KC Fun Time, Grace Monroe. And again, guys, I'm gonna show the number. This is the number. Make sure you guys call in to the Grace and Geo show. Leave a voicemail. Be respectful, but leave a voicemail so they could talk about it on this Saturday's show. But like always, make sure you drink your water. Make sure you say something nice about yourself, because if not, L.I. Yankee King and Caputo will show up at your house and drive you crazy. Till next time, I'm your guy Hector. Deuces.